to be my March TBR video. I always look forward to filming these every month, and for some reason I'm filming this one pretty early before the end of the month. Also, this is like my first full month of not working, so I kind of just wanted to film my TBR video because I just get so excited to film them. I wanted to update you guys really quick on my progress on my February TBR because I'm filming this on the 20th of February. I will update you fully by the end of February before this video goes up because I usually always post them the first of every month. I'm doing really good with my TBR this month. I'm basically sticking to it pretty much entirely. There was only like one book that I added that wasn't on my TBR. Well, actually two. There was two. But the rest of them were all on my February TBR. The only reason why I read these two books and they moved up to read sooner rather than later is because I met both of the authors and I went to their signing, so I really wanted to read their books. So that's really the only reason. But we did read Red Queen. Ow, I just twisted my fucking hand. That hurt. Which I am very proud that I finally read that series, so that's awesome. And so I'm trying to read like one series a month and 3 books that have been on this cart for too long. Like 3 standalone books every month. And so far we've been doing a pretty good job of it. So January I read like 5 or 6 books that were standalones rather than series. And I did read the Bloodwing Academy series. So I was ready for the 3rd book that's coming out this month. So there's quite a bit of new releases coming out this month. And also I did read The Great Alone. I did read All the Colors of the Dark. That's the book that I just finished earlier today. And those books have been on my TBR for a while. So yeah, pretty much 6 books a month. And it was the Red Queen series and those 2 standalones. So I thought that was pretty good. Even though I would have liked it to be 3. I'm glad it was at least those 2 books. I've been wanting to read those books for a while. And like, Felicia never stops pushing me to read both of those. I think that was it when it comes to standalones. Everything else that I'm reading for the rest of the month are newer releases, like from 2025 or early 2026. So, because we still got to keep up with the new releases. But, yeah, I've been having a really good month of reading too. So let's get into it. I'm just going to use our good old trusty dusty TBR cart jar. I could literally call it that. So I'm going to start shaking it up. Again, the colors mean absolutely nothing, so we can be as non-biased as possible. And I'm pretty sure all the prompts are now in the jar. Because before, I took a little while to put them all in here. But now they're officially all in here. So let's go ahead and pick our first prompt. I'm probably going to do 8 to 10. I usually do 8, but we'll see. I'm not involved. Okay, let's go ahead and pick the first one. It's not really a big deal if I don't close my eyes because I'm not even looking anyway. Okay. Murder mystery. You know what's funny is that I don't really have any thrillers on my TBR for this month because I actually have been reading a couple thrillers this year. Like, I actually just finished one. So, and I did read 2 this month because I read A Killing Cold as well. And then in January, I read 3 for that thriller vlog that I did of new thrillers. So, I don't really have anything that's murder mystery. Yeah. And there's really none that are, like, new ones that are coming out, like new releases. So, let's go ahead and pick another prompt. We're going to pick it from, let's choose this one because that's the one my hand is touching. Okay. New author to me. I think I have quite a bit that could fit this prompt. So, because we have quite a bit of authors on this. Oh, wait. You know what? We're just going to keep both of these out. I do have one thriller on my list. I'm pretty sure this is a thriller. Let me just make sure it is. But I don't add it. I don't have it physically. It's going to be borrowed from Libby because I'm just going to, I don't need to own it. I usually don't buy thrillers anymore because there's some on this cart that have been on my TBR for way too long, like I See You from Claire McIntosh and Lucy Foley's The Hunting Party. Those are really the only 2 thrillers that have been sitting on my TBR for too long. So there's only 2. let me see what the genre is before. Yes. Okay. This is a crime thriller novel. So does have a sense of murder mystery to it. So I'm going to pick me and Felicia's buddy read for March. Me and her have been wanting to read this book for quite a while. So we decided that March is the best time to read this book. And that is King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. I hear nothing but amazing things about his books. His highest rated book is Razorblade Tears, but I really do want to read this book first. Why the heck did the quality just get really bad? Just because the lights are off, you still see the books. I just don't feel like turning on the super bright light right now because it's way too bright. So I'm very excited to read this. So we're going to pick this one for, and also it is a new author to me, but we're going to pick it for murder mystery. For new author to me, I'm going to pick, we have quite a bit of physical books that I can pick for this prompt. So for King of Ashes, it says, wait, actually we're not going to read the synopsis until we pick all of them. I don't know why I change everything I do every single time I do a freaking TBR video. So for new author to me, so now we're picking for this one, we're just going to pick the newest book that I got from Barnes. It's going to be Half City by Kate Golden. This is a new, I believe, urban fantasy. I'm not sure if it's urban fantasy. We'll find out when we look up the synopsis and everything. But it's just so pretty. Like, look at these edges. It's just really nice. And I just bought this like a few days ago. And yeah, I'm really in the mood to read this. She is the author that wrote the Dawn of Onyx trilogy, which I still haven't gotten to yet. I still haven't read it because, you know, I still have plenty of other series behind me on this shelf that I need to get to over, you can't even see them because the TBR card's in the way, over Dawn of Onyx. So they're ones that I've owned for quite a while, so. And I'm trying to get one of them on my TBR for this month. So, because I really want to read it this month. But again, we'll see with all the new releases. But Half City just came out, I believe, a few days ago. So it's not even, let's put it up a little bit. You can see the entire TBR card. So, it came out like literally last Tuesday, I think. So it's a very new release. I think like 3 days ago. Because it's only the 20th. I think it came out the 17th. Let me keep on guessing when I'm pretty sure it came out the 17th. Okay. Let's go ahead and pick another one. Let's do, let's do this one. This is the one I have. Okay, another blue one. Again, colors don't mean a damn thing. Okay. We are not reading a summer romance in, well, I mean, spring is coming. I might actually have one that fits this prompt. I'm not sure. It is a new release, and I will have it physically, or actually there's 2 new releases that probably could fit this prompt. I feel so weird putting a summer romance on the TBR in spring. Let me see. Hold on. Let me just look this one up. Okay, we're actually picking some books really fast. Haley Pham. It is a summary read. So we can either pick this one or, because I'm reading it in March. Like, there's no way I'm not reading this book in March. Or this one. Let me see, because I'm 100% reading this one. Lord Jesus. God, I have to put the author for every single one because it's not coming up with the book. It's coming up with like the song that's named the same. It does say summer adult rom-com. So honestly, I could pick either one. I think I'm going to pick the one that I'm going to get physically though, because I buy all of these authors' books. And she always comes out with a romance in March. If you guys haven't guessed which one it's going to be, it's going to be The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez, because obviously I'm going to be reading this book in March as soon as it comes out. I literally cannot wait for this book. Actually, it doesn't come out till March 31st. So I'll feel even better picking it because I'm not even going to be reading it until the 31st. But it's not like a book I'm going to be waiting till April 1st to read. I'm reading it on the 31st. Like, I have to read her books as soon as they come out. So for now, this is going in the cup, but just know I'm going to be owning it by the time it comes out because I read all of her books. So let me say it again. So I think we've only picked 3 so far. So we still have 5 more. So let's see if we can get, I usually like having an even split of like 4 physical books and 4 non-physical like Kindle reads and stuff like that. Or we can do 5 and 5 if we do more than 8. So let's see what we're feeling, okay? And maybe we can get like an older book on the TBR at least. So, all right, let's go ahead and pick another one. I'll close my eyes this time, okay? All right, let's do from here. Okay, we got this one. Okay, so we got a tan one, and this one says A Book with Fae. I am not sure if any of these books have fae in them. I mean, I have quite a bit of fantasy on my TBR. I'm gonna have to search for this one. I'm pretty sure I drew this in January, and then I ended up reading a book with fae, but then I ended up putting it back because I couldn't find one with a book with fae. So I draw that prompt quite a bit. Let's see. Let's see. Wow. Nope, it does not. Okay. Let's try. If I can't find any, we're going to draw a different prompt. At least we found one. We haven't redrawn a prompt yet. Okay, we do have one, and I've actually put this book on my TBR for January and February, but we're reading it in March because it fits this prompt perfectly, and that is Splintered by H.G. Howard. I think I've had this book for way too long. I need to get it off my TBR, so this is definitely the next book that's going into my second episode of books that have been on my TBR for too long. I already filmed the intro and already read The Great Alone. So I already read my first book for that second episode, and this is going to be the second one because I really want to read this month. So yay, we found one. That's perfect. Again, we haven't redrawn any prompts yet, so that's awesome. When you have more prompts in the jar, it makes it a lot more fun because when I didn't have any, or like was dwindling down to like nothing, it was becoming really boring. So, because it's like I was redrawing the same prompts and I hated it. So, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and pick another one. Okay, let's pick from, all right, we're just going to try, you know what? Let's pick from the top, you know? We always pick from the bottom. Let's pick from the top. Okay, so we have another tan one. I don't know why I don't just do that. I get this prompt every time. Why? It just really wants me to read these books, but honestly, I don't really have any that would fit this prompt. None of these books intimidate me, so I'm going to draw a different one. I am sorry. We'll draw a different one from the top, okay? Let's mix it up, and then we'll draw... Let's draw one from here. Let's just take this one. Okay, we got a pink one. Let's try... Because, honestly, none of these books really intimidate me. Okay, bookish vibes. Do I have any that are like cozy bookish vibes? Not really, because again, we're going into spring. So I don't really have anything that's like super cozy fantasy or like bookish, like, you know, something that you just sit down at a cafe and read, you know, stuff like that. Like, I have coffee house vibes in this jar too. Let's try one more. If not, I think I know possibly which one I'm going to pick for that prompt, but let's go ahead and pick another one. Okay. Let's be as let's see what I can pick. Okay, let's do, I guess this one. Okay, we got a yellow one. I just did this one for, Alright, we're doing a redo. Sorry, I don't want to do any of these prompts. Remember when I said we haven't redrawn any yet? We've gotten 4. Alright, we're halfway there. Let's just shake it up real good, and let's see if we can pick something else. You guys are on the edge of your seat. You literally cannot wait for me to pick prompts, because so many people watch these videos. Like, everyone that I know. Duh. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's pick from... Alright, let's just pick this one. Okay. Hopefully it's not the same one I just put back. Okay, a series. Actually, I really want to do this one because I know exactly which series I'm going to pick. And I'm dying to read this one, and they're all physical books off of my physical TBR. Okay, so it's off of my shelf. Like I said, I really wanted to get this on my TBR this month. I'm just going to grab the first book. I'm not going to grab all 3 of them. So we're finally going to be reading the Fireborn trilogy by Rosaria Munda. It's time. It is time. I really want something with dragons in it. I know I'm reading the 3rd book in On Wings of Blood in March, but honestly, I really just want to read a trilogy. You know, it's not as long as Red Queen, and I've heard that these books are YA fantasy Game of Thrones, pretty much. Like Game of Thrones, but make it YA. So we're definitely picking this for my series prompt, and I'm so excited for that. I'm glad I put the other prompt back. So I'm just going to put the first book up here, and as I read them, I'll just put it back, you know? It's not a big deal. Okay, so I'll just put like another book in there for the time being. We'll just put Sunrise on the Reaping in there as a little placeholder, so I don't forget that I drew it for the other prompts. Oh my goodness. I cannot even do this from this angle right now. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. God, Jesus. Okay. Amazing. Amazing. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick another prompt. I think that was our 5th one. Yeah, that was our 5th one. So we still have, I think we're going to do 10 again. It's just too much fun. So let's go ahead and pick another one. We might do a spinner wheel for the last one. We might pick 9 prompts and then do a spinner wheel pick for the last one, because I kind of want to do a wheel. Honestly, I should do the titles of the books rather than the numbers, because I feel like it makes it a little bit less unbiased. Okay, so we just picked this one because, you know, that's the one I was feeling. I wasn't looking. Okay, friend picks. Alright, I'm going to pick 3. Bitch. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I picked 3 books, and I texted my book bestie, Meg. I was gonna text the usual people that I text, but I'm like, I kind of like texting a new friend every single time I get this prompt. So I picked out a new release, which is Fallen City by Adrienne Young. This one just came out like a couple weeks ago, or I think it came out in December. I'm not sure if it was December or January. It didn't come out in February. Time, Caitlin, I swear to God. But I really want to read this book, so I picked that one. Then there's one that's been on my TBR for so long, and this is the only book of the month book that I haven't read. I've actually read all my other book of the month books except for this one. That's literally saying the same thing twice, Caitlin. And that is The Crimson Crown by Heather Walter. I really want to read this book in March for some reason. I wanted to read it last March. This is a sapphic retelling of Snow White. Like, I think it's the Snow White and the Evil Queen. And then the third one, I picked this one because, one, I'm super scared to read this. But also, me and Meg went to Comic-Con and met Trisha Levenseller. And she signed my book. So I really... I wanted to see whether or not she was going to pick this one to read because we both met the author together and she signed it for me, and that is What Fury Brings by Trisha Levenseller. So I think that these are good options. They're all romantasy books, but you know, she loves romantasy too, and I don't know. I wasn't really being that versatile with my genres. I just wanted to pick 3 that I was really feeling, and Fallen City and The Crimson Crown are both on my TBR this month, but I will put in another clip after she answers me back. She's probably not going to answer me back till tomorrow because I think she's sleeping already. She goes to bed really early. She goes to bed at like 10. I go to bed at like 3 a.m. So we will see which one she picks, but I'm very excited to see what she picks. I'll just put them back on the cart later because that's going to be a whole nother disaster. I think that was prompt number 6. I don't even know where I put the prompts. Yeah, it's right here. Okay. I think that was prompt number 6. Yeah. No, 7. Yeah, because did we only pick 2 for Kindle? Or I think we picked 3 because we picked, why am I putting them in here when I need to go through them, before this? I mean, after this. Yeah, I think that's 6 because we only put 2 in the jar. And then we have 3 physically, and then 1 more physically, but when Meg picks. So we just have to wait for her to answer. I always get so excited for friend picks. It's so interesting to always see, like, what friends pick. I might text my other friend and text him 3 completely different books that have been in my TBR for a long time, but I kind of want to see what Meg picks, so we're just going to stick with her because the last time I got a friend pick, I texted my friend Courtney, so I want to pick somebody else this time. Okay, let's go ahead and pick our next prompts. Okay, let's pick this one, since that's the one that ended up touching my hand. No. Oh my god. All right, we're putting this out of the jar. How am I picking it yet again? How do I end up picking the same damn prompt? Okay, let's pick this one. I picked Funny Book again. Okay, we picked another yellow one. I was just talking about this prompt about, you know, cozy, bookish vibes. And I said, like, I have this prompt in the jar too. So we have coffee house vibes. I might pick a romance, like a new romance book, because there's 2 new romances coming out in March besides The Night We Met. I feel like these are the only other 2 that might give me that vibe. I don't know, because then right now we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books on the, well, no. It's only going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8 books on the TBR right now. I don't know. I don't really want to re-pick again. I kind of want to just pick a book that's been on my TBR for a while. Not in the mood to read any of these. I think I am going to pick the one that's been on my TBR for a while rather than a new release, because usually I always end up reading new releases over older books. So we're going to pick probably the romance that's been on my TBR the longest. You guys know I'm really good about picking, reading my romances and reading my thrillers. So when a romance is on my TBR for too long, it's like, girl, it's about time you pick it up and read it. And the reason why I really want to read this one in March is because I went to the book signing for the author that, you know, I said that we met the author of Baby Dragon Cafe, and that's the reason why I read it in February. because I wanted to read it before we met her. It was such a cute book. Such a cute book. I don't know why that book gets so much hate. I think it's adorable. People just like, they're just dumb sometimes, honestly. It's such an adorable book. So when I went with my 2 book besties from Silent Book Club and we were talking about certain romance books on a table there at the bookstore that we haven't read, I said that I haven't read The Hating Game yet by Sally Thorne, and they're like, what do you mean? Like, they've both read it. And I was like, okay, I guess that means I'm going to have to read it soon. And I've owned this book at least, I think, since summer of 2024. So I think we're going to make this the Coffee House Vibes one, because I feel like this is the only one that I get, like, true Coffee House vibes from on my TBR. Because I don't know if this is a summer romance or anything. Yeah, I think that this would be a good book to read while drinking a coffee in a cafe or something. Even though I usually don't drink coffee in a cafe, I usually am always the one that's getting, like, iced tea. So, okay, so that's 4, 5. Do we only have 7 prompts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's pick 3 more. I guess because I put away the one that we drew before Coffee House Vibes, because I could not do Funny Book again, because, well, technically, I drew this for my TBR video, like my TBR elimination, not my actual TBR. So maybe we should fill the Funny Book prompt. I don't know. I don't really have any other rom-coms on my list. Oh, you know what? I know exactly which one. It's a Kindle read, and it's a new book that's coming out. We'll just do this one. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. I think we're going to do 10 anyway, so I need to fill this prompt. I don't know why I redrew, but anyway, I would have anyway. Do a picture of 3 options. Sorry, Meg is texting me right now. But let me tell you guys, I thought she was already sleeping. The book that I'm picking for, oh, I almost forgot the title. And I just looked up this book before because I forgot which book it was, and I was like, I had just added it recently to my TBR, and I was like, oh, wait, this is a sequel that I really want to read, because I thought, okay, she already picked which one. Thank you. All right, let's back it up. Sorry. Okay, so she picked. So we're gonna go back to the. That's funny because that's the one I wanted to read the most anyway. We're gonna tell you guys which one she picked for the Friend Picks My Book, and that is Fallen City by Adrienne Young. So this is the one that she picked, and yeah. That's great. Why am I so dumb sometimes? But I wanted to go back because she already answered me. So that's awesome. I actually have never had a friend like answer me in real time like that when I'm filming this. Usually it's like a little bit later. So I thought that was really fun. So yeah, she picked Fallen City. That's awesome. Okay. So we'll put the other 2 back, like I said, later. Let's go back to the funny book prompt. So this one is a sequel that's coming out to the Story Lake series by Lucy Score. I finally read my first Lucy Score book last year, and that was Story of My Life, and that was a buddy read with me and Lucy Score. Me and Felicia. Sorry, Meg's still texting me. I'm going to answer her in a second. And I loved it. I thought it was so funny. I really want to read more of Lucy Score's books, but this is such an easy series to read because only one book had come out. So this book is coming out in March. So I'm just going to continue reading this, and that is Mistakes Were Made. So this is the second book in the Story Lake series, and this one comes out March 10th. So we're definitely adding this one to the TBR. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to pick one more. Just give me a second. Let me answer Meg. Okay, so should we do a spinner wheel? Honestly, I have to put this one back, though. I have to fit it back on the cart, just in case if it does get picked. I think I kind of want to do a spinner wheel. So I'm just going to do numbers. I don't know why I can't get this back on the cart now. This is like driving me crazy. Honestly, I don't even know why I bought these books, because these are like middle grade books. So I probably will never end up reading that book. But we'll see. Can I get it back on the cart? Oh my lord. Yes, we can. Oh my god. Alright, so that's that. And I'm just going to put this back on here. Duh. Okay. Let's go ahead. Yeah, I think we're going to do a spinner wheel. How many times can I say that? Like 5 billion times? And then we're going to count the books back here too. So let's count these as 1 through whatever. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. I'm not even counting this one. I'm like mad at this friend right now, so we're not reading her book that she gave me. Sorry. I'm probably not even going to end up reading it anyway. Spinner. Okay, let's just do number wheel. Duh. Number wheel. It's more fun when there's like more on the list. So let's see. That is not the number wheel. Okay, so we're going to do 1 through 33. I just felt like doing this. I thought it would be fun to pick the last one. And we have a lot of numbers on this list. Okay, let's go ahead and spin it. See what number we get. I think it's from the second shelf, actually. Okay, we have number 15. Okay, I think it's from this way. It might be the one that I'm thinking, but hold on. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, that's a good one because I need to read this book. Remember when I was saying that I need to read my thrillers that have been on my TBR for too long? So we might replace The Crimson Crown with this because I kind of want to... I don't have any thrillers on my March TBR. And I feel like this is a sign to put a thriller on my TBR. So it's I See You by Claire McIntosh. All right, you know what? We're going to swap. Sorry, Crimson Crown, you're not being read again. But this one's been on my TBR for a hot second. And I've been wanting to read this for quite a while. And I might swap the thriller that I put in my books that have been on my TBR for too long, that I put in that video, and might read this instead. So we have The Hating Game and I See You, which have been on my TBR for too long. So that's awesome. Okay, great. How many times can I say things like 5 bajillion times? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why do we only have 9 books for... I thought we did 10 prompts. Maybe we only did 8? Am I, like, dumb? I don't think I put any more in here. No, I didn't. How many prompts did I end up picking? Maybe we need another one. Wait, hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We only have 3 papers here. Murder Mystery, Funny Book, and Summer Romance. All right, then we're picking one more. Sorry. We did the spinner wheel because we felt like it. We're still going to pick one more paper. Dumbass. All right. I thought that was 10. I guess that was number 9. All right. Let's just pick a prompt. Okay, we got this one. All right, we got another pink one. We have mermaids. Okay. Well, don't know what has mermaids in it. I don't know if any of these do. I don't think they do. But hey, let's just have a looky-loo. Hmm. I don't think any of these books do. I wasn't intending on reading on any of these this month. I don't know what has a mermaid in it. I don't think any of these do. I'm like, let me see. Ooh, all right. Let's see if this one does. This one might be the only one I think might. In it. It doesn't say mermaids. No. Such a stunning book. I don't think so. Okay, let's try a different one. I want to see if we can fit it. If not, we're going to pick a different prompt. Oh, 11 already fills it out. It's not really telling. No. It's land-based palace and magical elements. So not the Poet Empress. Okay. Let's try one more, possibly. Yeah, let's try. I don't think this one does either, but let's just see. That's not it. That's not the same book. I don't know what this book is actually really about or what genre it is. I just know I really want to read it because it's a new release that's coming out this month and I'm really excited about. I think because, these are all new releases that I'm looking up, it's not going to tell me. Immortals and immortal beings. I don't think there's mermaids in this either. So I think we are going to pick another prompt. I haven't been able to fulfill this prompt. Even in Voyage of the Damned, there was no mermaids in it. So I really do want to read something that has more ocean fantasy. Maybe I should just pick a random Kindle read, but honestly, there's a lot. Let's just try one more. We'll try one more. But I don't think this one has mermaids either, because this is a dystopian too. Because y'all, dystopian's making a huge comeback. So I want to read all the popular ones. I didn't fill it in this time. Let's see. All right, my neck hurts. Even though I got a massage today. Sitting on the floor is not comfortable sometimes. Even though it's a standalone. What? A Little Mermaid retelling? No fucking way. Is it a pirate retell? What? Well, this one might be able to fit it, because we already have 6 physical books on the TBR. Hold on, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Daggermouth. Well, you already know what the book is, since I said it like 5 billion times. It's dark romance dystopian. There's a lot of trigger warnings, though. I don't think... Well, I don't know. Doesn't really say anything about mermaids. I don't think it does. I don't need spice level and tropes. I just need... Why don't more books list, like, what kind of fantasy it is? I mean, I know it's dystopian, but I want to know, like, what... If it's water fantasy or, like, elemental, you know, stuff like that. And sometimes we don't get enough of that information before we read it. Because some people think it's, like, spoilery or some shit. I don't know. I would rather know before I actually read it. Okay, let's pick this one. Okay. One more and then I'm not picking anymore. Okay, beautiful cover. This one I actually got in my TBR elimination video, but doesn't mean we can't do it again. I mean, I don't really have any. I mean, I know which one I'm going to pick. I don't own it yet because it's not out yet, but I was just talking about how beautiful this book is, and we're reading it as soon as it comes out. And these books are stunning covers because I own the first one. It's right over here, right in the corner. But I'm probably going to buy it, and then I don't know where the fuck I'm going to put it, but I need to own it because these books are gorgeous. And this will be my my fourth book by the author. And that is The Dragon and the Sun Lotus by Emily Wenzel. So we're going to pick this one because it's a new release and these are stunning. Like, look at this. It's gorgeous. Sorry if you can't see it that well because the lights are off, but there's a little bit of a better visual. So yeah, I'm so excited for that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the books that I picked for the prompts. I don't know why the hell that took so much long. It always takes me longer, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through the books that I'm going to be reading this month for the prompts. So I already forgot which prompts. Half of these were first. So 4. So new author to me is Half City by Kate Golden. A Book with Faye is Splintered by A.G. Howard. I remembered that one. A series, we're going to be doing the Fireborn trilogy by Rosaria Munda. Then we have Coffee House Vibes, which is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. And then what was this one for? This was the spinner wheel pick. We got I See You by Claire McIntosh. Very excited for that one. And then Friend Picks is Fallen City by Adrienne Young. Very excited for that one. And then for the ones that I don't own physically yet, we have... I think we did Murder Mystery first. I don't remember what I picked for this one. Oh, King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. Duh. Then we have Summer Romance, which is The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. Then we have Funny Book, which is Mistakes Were Made by Lucy Score. And then I know it's going to be hilarious because I thought Story of My Life was fucking hysterical. And then beautiful cover, we have these... What is it called again? The Dragon and the Sun Lotus. Really good picks. And I'm going to be reading all the new releases. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the new releases now and the rest of the books that are on my TBR. But most of them are new releases, honestly. They're not really any other physical books that I own right now because they're just not out yet. So, but I'm going to switch to the desk because I can't sit on the floor anymore. It's hurting my back. Okay, so after looking at the books that I picked, I feel really good about it because they're books that I don't even own yet, and there's only going to be, I think, only 2 books that I'm going to be buying that I don't own yet, obviously, because they're not out. So then I only have 6 books on the TBR cart right now for my March TBR. That makes me feel a lot better because, like, I'm going to be reading more books on my Kindle this month. And yeah. Also, I forgot one other physical book, but I'm actually going to put that on the cart because I do need to read this. So we'll talk about this one first. I think it's right here. Yeah. Because it's not on the cart. It's on my desk shelf. So the one that I really want to read to finish the series completely, because after I finished Warstorm, I just didn't feel the need to continue right then and there because I still had finished the initial series. And that is Broken Throne by Victoria Aveyard. I do want to read this in March because this is like the collection of novellas and short stories about the other characters. And people say this brings a lot of closure to Warstorm and the initial ending of Warstorm. So I really would like to finish off the books that I own in this series and read Broken Throne. So we are definitely adding this one as well. And I'm not going to talk about what it's about because I don't want to spoil it. If you haven't read the series, we're not going to read the synopsis or anything because I feel like that would be a huge spoiler. And then basically most of the rest of the books on my TBR are new releases. Because like I said, there are quite a bit of new releases coming out in March. But let's just talk about my buddy read and another 2 books that I wasn't able to get to this month, and then possibly a buddy read with my mom, you know, when she's back to not hating me. Because, you know, we have such an up and down relationship. It's not even funny. Welcome to being a girl. So for my buddy read for March with Felicia, not with my mom, so we're doing King of Ashes, but the other one we're doing, and you know, I really appreciate our buddy reads because it gets us to read books that, you know, we wouldn't really typically read ourselves or really wouldn't have any desire to pick it up unless we're reading it with somebody else. So sometimes it pushes me to read these books. Okay, so this book I'm a little bit nervous about, but Felicia put it on her March TBR, and then I ended up putting it on our buddy read list because I do want to read it too. And that is, and she's reading A Killing Cold in March, so that ended up being another buddy read for us, but I read it in February, she's going to read it in March. So like for our buddy reads, we don't really read them at the same time. We just read them and then we talk about them after we are able to finish them. Like it's kind of our own little personal book club, but it's not overwhelming because we just read them whenever we are in the mood or want to go into them. So, this one is called A Love Letter to Whiskey by Candy Steiner. And I've known about this book for quite a while because Larry Reeds talks about this book a lot. And I think she read it like 2 years ago. So I don't think she read it that long ago. But this book has a big cheating trope in it. So I was always hesitant to go into it. So I'm going to read the synopsis. It says, an angsty and powerful story of lovers continually fighting the curse of bad timing. Brex Kennedy has spent years writing the story of her life, but there's one chapter that never quite closed, Jamie Shaw. It all started with a jog, a clumsy collision, and an instant crush. But while Bee's heart skipped a beat, Jamie's eyes found her best friend instead. And just like that, her crush became her closest friend. Bound by shared moments of magic, surfing, and secrets, their connection is undeniable, even as they desperately try to fight it. But between college campuses, chance encounters, and stolen moments, fate has a way of bringing them back together when they least expect it, time and time again. That's all I'm going to read. I don't need to read the whole thing. So, you know, it's like kind of second chance romance, but, you know, missed timing. So we'll see. It sounds like a hot mess of a book, but I'm kind of here for it. So, okay. And then, like I said, our other buddy read is going to be King of Ashes. I think that this is going to lead me to read Razorblade Tears because everybody says how amazing that book is, but this book gets great reviews too. So this one says, a son returning home, a dangerous debt, secrets about to ignite, and a family consumed by flames. I'm trying to read more thrillers this year too because I've kind of been in a big thriller mood, and I'm actually going to read another thriller before the month is over. I want to read His and Hers by Alice Feeney because I really want to watch the show. So then I will have read 3 thrillers this month, and then next month now I have 2 thrillers on my TBR, so that's good. Roman Caruthers, I think I'm saying that wrong, left the smoke and fire of his family's crematory business behind in his hometown of Jefferson Run, Virginia. He is enjoying a life of shallow excess as a financial advisor in Atlanta until he gets a call from his sister, Nevia, telling him their father is in a coma after a hit-and-run accident. Oh my God. When Roman goes home, he learns the accident may not be what he seems. His brother Dante is deeply in debt to dangerous, ruthless criminals, and Roman is willing to do anything to protect his family. Anything. A financial whiz with a head for numbers and a talent for making his clients rich, Roman must use all his skills to try and save his family while dealing with a shadow that has haunted them for 20 years, the disappearance of their mother when Roman and his siblings were teenagers. Okay, that's all I'm going to read. That sounds so good. Oh my God. It's probably going to break my heart because I've heard his books are sad too. But I'm so excited for it. I'm so excited to cry. And then, like I said, Fireborn has been in my TBR for so long. It's been on my TBR since I added it last January, but I'm pretty sure I purchased them like at the end of 2024. I just really want to get through some more series, and honestly, this is the one I'm in the mood for the most to read in March. So it says, Annie and Lee were just children with a brutal... This is just the synopsis of the first book. I'm not reading the other two because I don't want to spoil it for myself either. Were just children when a brutal revolution changed their world, giving everyone, even the lowborn, a chance to test the governing class of dragon riders. Now they are both rising stars in the new regime, despite backgrounds that couldn't be more different. Annie's lowborn family was executed by dragonfire, while Lee's aristocratic family was murdered by revolutionaries. Holy crap. Growing up in the same orphanage forged their friendship, and 7 years of training have made them rivals for the top position in the dragon riding fleet. But everything changes when survivors from the old regime surface, bent on reclaiming the city. With war on the horizon and his relationship with Annie changing fast, Lee must choose to kill the only family he has left, or to betray everything he's come to believe in. And Annie must decide whether to protect the boy she loves or step up to be the champion her city needs. That was not that long of a synopsis, but holy crap. So that's why I read the whole thing, but that sounds amazing. I haven't read that synopsis in a while. Okay, and then I'm not going to read the synopsis of Splintered or ICU. I'm not going to read the synopsis of most of these other books. I just wanted to read the ones that have been on my synopsis, on my TBR for a while. So again, The Hating Game. I want to read this because I really want to watch the movie. This one just says enemy, like rivals to lovers, a person's undoing. Let me see. Assistants to co-CEOs of a publishing company. Lucy can't understand Joshua's joyless, uptight, meticulous approach to his job. Joshua is clearly baffled by Lucy's overly bright clothes, quirkiness, and Pollyanna attitude. Okay, it's like a cliche. Rivals to lovers. It kind of reminds me of Is She Really Going Out with Him by Sophie Cousins. That's my 5-star from Sophie Cousins. I love that book. And My Roommate is a Vampire. Or maybe it's the third one. Was it the third one? I know it was one of the 3. Maybe it was the first one or this. I don't think it was the third one. Maybe it was the first one. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't My Roommate was a Vampire. It was the second book in Go Hex Yourself. What the Hex? It reminds me of that. I was like, no, it's not the Roommate was a Vampire books. Okay, and then The Poet Empress, I just moved to March because I didn't have time to read it in February. I would have been able to read it if I didn't read The Baby Dragon Cafe and Game Set Match. Then I would have read The Poet Empress, and I think I would have actually completed and then Broken Throne. So I would have completed my February TBR. Like, completely. That's what completing means, Caitlin. The last book I would need to get to is The Everlasting. But I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to finish it this month because we only have 8 days left and I'm trying to finish like 6 books. So we will see. So The Poet Empress, I'm not reading again. A lot of people are reading that book. Then we have Fallen City by Adrienne Young. That is another book that I'm really excited for. I'll just read it really quickly. It is a duology, and the second book is coming out later this year. So I'm actually really excited that I'm reading this. The second book comes out in December, so that'll be another series completed. And I really do want to read more duologies this year. And then also the Dragon and the Sun Lotus is the book 2 in the duology for The Scorpion, the Night Blossom by Emily Wen Zhao, and she's one of my favorite Asian fantasy authors because you guys know I love Song Like Silver, Flame Like Night. That duology is fucking amazing. It's like my favorite duology ever. So it says for Fallen City, in the great walled city of Azara, political turmoil ignites a rebellion 100 years in the making, but when a legionnaire falls in love with magistrate's daughter, their love will threaten the fate of the city and the will of the gods. Luca Mateus has one purpose: to carry on the family name, maintaining its presence in the forum once his powerful and cruel uncle dies. But his noviceship with the city's philosopher places him in the middle of a catastrophe that will alter the destiny of his people. Maris Casperia was raised amidst the strategic maneuvers of the Citadel's inner workings, and she knows what her future holds: a lifetime of service to a corrupt city. Okay, that's it. Moving on. I'm very excited for that. Then the other one that I was trying to see if there was mermaids in it, but I really want to read this because it's like the most popular dystopian book right now. I am reading Conform right now, though, which is the other most popular dystopian book. So I started this tonight because, like I said, I just finished All the Colors of the Dark, so now I'm reading Conform. And this one is called Daggermouth by H.M. Wolfe. I don't really want to read the synopsis of this. I kind of want to go into this completely blind. I think most people say it's better to go into this completely blind, but it's getting like 4 or 5-star reviews everywhere. Everybody loves this book, and the majority of the ratings are 5 stars. So I'm very excited to read this one. It's very dark though, but as I've become more of a reader, I've been able to handle these things. But I believe it's a duology. It says 2027 for the second book. So, but it says November 2027. Even though it says November 30th, 2026 on Goodreads. Well, it says published 2027, but people say it does end on a brutal cliffhanger. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to read it. Because, like, I get really mad when we have to wait for books with brutal cliffhangers. It really drives me insane. I mean, Stolen Midnight's ended on a cliffhanger, but I think I can wait for it. So, yeah. Okay, and then the last one, which, again, might potentially be a buddy read with my mom, and it means that I have to wait for her to finish it because obviously I have like 10 million books to read, so obviously she's going to read it first. I don't even have it on my TBR on Goodreads. But the movie came out in, I believe, October or November of last year. And I did want to read the book, but also I was just going to watch the movie. But then my mom's like even though my mom doesn't read anything anymore, or she reads like one book a year because, you know, she says that she just gets too tired after coming home from work, whatever, I don't even care. I'm like so mad at her right now. But anyway, her coworker who I used to talk to all the time about reading, because he is a English professor and he's like a Shakespeare head, and we would talk about books literally all the time. He told my mom, from Apple, because, you know, we both worked at Apple together, in the same store. That's why I worked at Apple. Remember I worked at Apple? How many times can I say that? He said that you have to read the book first in order to see the movie. He's like, you have to read the book. And the book is like 300 pages, so it's not even that long. So she doesn't even have that much of an excuse. Even though when I gave her the Midnight Library, it's only 288 pages, but she got bored, so she didn't want to fucking read it. So anyway, the book that I might read in March, I might not read it till April. It depends on when she finishes it. If I don't read it till April, it's not a big deal, is Hamnet by Maggie O. Farrell. So this book is really, really huge still, and people say it's really sad. So I again am going into this completely blind. So um that will be whether or not my mom finishes it, and then I will go into it and read it, and then we'll watch the movie together. So yeah. I could see if it's available at the library, but I don't think it is. It has a long wait. Um I have no idea. Well, the audiobook is available, but not the physical book. It says available soon, but I don't care. I'm going to wait until she finishes it because I have too many other books to read. That's not a big deal. Okay, let's go into the new releases. Again, we already talked about The Dragon and the Sun Lotus and The Night We Met, and also Mistakes Were Made. So I'm not going to go over those again. I think The Dragon and the Sun Lotus, I didn't say the release date. So Mistakes Were Made. Oh, let's just go through the release dates. All right, let's just go through them again. So the one that I have to read over every book that I have on my March TBR, I have to read this book as the first book that I read in March because it is an ARC that I got. So I need to read it before it comes out. I got this ARC like back in like September or October, which was freaking wild. And this is one of the only books that I received requesting it. I've only received 2 2026 ARCs this year, so I really haven't been overwhelmed with reviewing ARCs because I already read one of them, which was Unbound by Peyton Curran, and the other 2 I received, the publishers emailed me and asked me if I wanted to read it. It wasn't a book that I requested on NetGalley. So this was the only other book that I've received so far in 2026 that I've requested from NetGalley, and that is Rebecca Surley's Once and Again. And I need to read this regardless if I didn't like in 5 years, and I kind of have an up and down relationship with this author. It's kind of similar to B.K. Borison, but also like with B.K. Borison, I really liked Good Spirits, and I know B.K. Borison's coming out with And Now Back to You literally this Tuesday. But I don't think I'm going to read it because I didn't really like First Time Caller. And I don't want to set myself up with disappointment from B.K. Borison again because, yeah. I'm not even going to read the synopsis for this, though. I just have to read it because it's an ARC. And I read all the ARCs that I receive. It comes out March 10th. Okay, and then next up is No Matter What. And this is by my beloved author, Cara Bastone. I read all of her books, all of her new releases. So I've read Ready or Not and Promise Me Sunshine. So this one is her newest release that comes out March 3rd. So I'm probably going to go into this book right after I finish Once and Again, because I really do want to read this too. And that is No Matter What by Cara Bastone. I don't know if I said the title. I kind of want to go into these books blind, so I'm not going to read the synopsis of this one either, but very excited for that one. I always get excited for her new books because I have given Ready or Not and Promise Me Sunshine 5 stars. Promise Me Sunshine made me cry so much. Okay, and then next up, I audiobook all these in this series, and I believe this is the last one in the trilogy. Since the second book was so disappointing. Okay, I don't have to go into this until April. So I might just not even start this until April because this one also comes out March 31st. So that actually gives me more time to read I See You or, well, it doesn't matter because it's an audiobook. I just don't have to listen to it until April. Anyway, who cares? It's Game On by Nevessa Allen, and this is the third and final book in the Into Darkness series. I really did not like the second book, but I'm really excited for the third one. I think this one's going to be better. I really enjoyed the first one. Everybody loves Lights Out. That was such a viral book on TikTok. Everybody loved it. But I'm definitely listening to this one. So this one says, I don't care about going into this blind. It's a dark romance. It says, this is going to be my first dark romance this year because I really haven't read any this year because I've been reading a lot more thrillers than dark romance. So I've been reading dark romantasy, but not dark romance. So it says, the game is on for these enemies to lovers with laugh out loud banter and scorching hot brat play. I hate that woman. Tyler Newman has spent years looking for his father, and not because he wants to meet the man. No, he wants to destroy him, and he'll manipulate whoever he can to exact his revenge, including Stella McCormick. She's everything Tyler hates. It kind of already sounds like the plot of the second book. Her wealth and privilege have protected her for her entire life, and Tyler thinks it's time she finally paid the price. Or like, Beautiful Venom by Rena Kent. Whether she's ready to or not. I hate that man. Stella might not believe in love at first sight, but loathing at first sight, no question. Okay, I'm done reading that synopsis. That's annoying me. It's stupid. Okay, anyway, but, sometimes we just need a mindless palate cleanser. Okay, and then like I said, I read the first 2 books in the Bloodwing Academy series by Briar Bolin. So the 3rd book is coming out in March. So I'm actually really glad that I read them in January, even though they weren't on my January TBR. So I could read the 3rd book when it came out. And that is The Wings That Bind by Briar Bolin. Again, I am not reading the synopsis for this for anybody who hasn't read it. And this one is the 3rd book, and it comes out March 10th as well. So there's quite a bit of books that are coming out March 10th. But again, I am happy I read the previous two books, so I didn't have to worry about adding another series to my TBR, like Fireborn, to my March TBR, because that's another dragon series I want to read. Okay, we only have 4 more books. So the summer romance that I was telling you about, and I don't think we have to come back. And honestly, I don't really need to update you about my TBR because I think I'm pretty much on track to finishing almost every book. And I'll just update you guys in my wrap up. The next one also comes out March 3rd, so on the same day as No Matter What by Cara Bastone, is Haley Pham's debut novel, which is Just Friends. I really do want to read this book. I usually don't read YouTube booktubers books, but I'm really, really curious about if I'm going to like this book or not. I don't know. I'm really intrigued about it. It's like a summer romance, and again, I really don't want to read any of the synopsis, but it's a second chance romance about childhood friends reconnecting as adults in this highly anticipated debut novel by Haley Pham. So, very excited for that one. And then 3 more books. So the next one, I pretty much read every single book that Alex Astor comes out with, and she's coming out with a new book in March. Okay, this one doesn't come out until March 31st, too. Why do so many books come out in March 31st? Like, that's not even a March TBR then. They're like all books I'm going to read the first week of April, along with all the summer romances that come out in April to June. So the new book that Alex Astor is coming out with is called Starside. I'm not sure if this is a dystopian, but also she hasn't announced like the next Light Lark book, like at all. So I guess she's taking a break from it because there's a 5th and final book that's supposed to come out. But this is the only book that she's announced for 2026 so far. This one I will read a little bit of the synopsis. It says, enter the world of Starside, where swords wield magic and the power is not inherited but claimed. Hundreds of years ago, a brutal war split a land in 2. Starside is a realm of magic and immortals, the descendants of the gods living in a power-rich paradise. Stormside is where mortals fight for scraps of that magic. Every 50 years, the gates between them open and 50 challengers are allowed to journey across Starside on a deadly quest to access a pool of magic that can heal, grant wealth, or extend life. Okay, that's all I'm going to read. That sounds so good. Well, I'm excited for that. I think that's her first adult fantasy because she's mostly wrote just Light Lark. And then her first adult book was last year with Summer in the City, and that was her first adult romance. Okay, I'm just going to say the release dates of both of these. I'm not going to read the synopsis, and then we can stop talking because it's so funny. I barely talked today because I had a day to myself. And then I'm like talking way too much in this. I guess I was containing all this information inside of me for so long today. So, like I said, we did talk about The Dragon and the Sun Lotus. This one comes out March 3rd. I'm not reading the synopsis of this, but I pretty much remember what happened. It's the Three Realms duology. So, once I read that, I'll be done with the series, which is great. And then the last one is, I don't know how many books are going to be in this series, but I think this one comes out March 10th as well. It's not made. It's not make, it's made. And that is Mistakes Were Made by Lucy Score, comes out March 10th. I will read a little bit of the synopsis of this one. Because I think they're interconnected standalones. Yeah, there's only 2 announced. It says he's looking for the new perfect wife. He's looking for the perfect wife. She's looking for the perfect one-night stand. Literary agent Zoe Moody, I believe it's her best friend from the first book, doesn't like small-town life, but here she is, exiled from Manhattan's publishing scene and trapped in a tiny Pennsylvania town with her BFF and only remaining client, Hazel. Yeah, that's literally her agent from the first book. Okay, got it. The problem, she's totally broke. All she needs is for Hazel's next romance novel to become a gigantic hit, and Zoe will be back in New York. Okay, so that was literally what was happening in the first book. So maybe there'll be a lot of like overlapping scenes from Hazel's perspective, which I think will be fun. Not Hazel's perspective. What is her name? Zoe. Duh. Okay, so that sounds fun. I'm not gonna read the rest of it. So yeah, that is it, you guys. Those are all the books that I want to read in March. I don't know how many books that actually is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. But I think Starside and Game On, again, Game On doesn't really count. And the rest of them are all coming out like March 3rd and March 10th. There's like no books coming out in the middle of the month. So, and we might not get to Hamnet. So that's like 20 books rather than 22. I think I'll be able to do 20 because, March is longer than February. It's like 31 days rather than 28. So I might be able to fit in another book. If we read like this in February, though, I think I'm going to end the month with 19 books, hopefully, which is crazy because I'm on my 15th book right now. So yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what's on your TBR for the month of March, and I will let you know if I'm able to read all these books in my April wrap-up. So they're just on my radar. Doesn't mean we're going to get to absolutely all of them. Maybe I'll read like some of them towards the end of the month, rather than towards the beginning of the month. But once all the books come out, March 3rd and March 10th, I'm going to be reading basically all of those for like the first 2 weeks of March. So we'll see after that what I can read like the 3rd week of March, since that's like literally the only time there's not any new releases coming out that I want to read. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at SVW819 and check out my TikTok and my Goodreads in the links below. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day and keep reading. And again, let me know whether or not you're reading these books in March. Nobody ever does, but I still ask anyway. At least my TikTok wrap-ups get a lot of views, and I think I've gotten more subscribers from TikTok since I left my YouTube account link in my bio on TikTok. So yeah, that's it. I hope you have a great day and keep reading. Bye. Okay, so hey there, guys. My hair looks crazy. I just wanted to add something. I wanted to add 2 more books potentially to my TBR, which I think I'm definitely going to read these 2 books over like maybe some of the other books that are like older on my TBR, because like I said, March is just, oh my god, what is up with my hair? March is just full of new releases, but these books came out early January that I didn't read either of these yet. Obviously, that's why they're on the TBR. I might take off 1 or 2 of the standalones that I have, or I might push Fireborn, but I really want to read it. And I really want to read the 3 standalones that I put on my TBR too. But I feel like the first week or so of March is definitely going to be full of new releases. Like, I'm going to read Once and Again first. And I actually started reading it on my Kindle last night, and I'm liking it so far. I only got like 4 pages into it, though, but I have to read that first. And then The Dragon and the Sun Lotus comes out the 3rd. No Matter What comes out the 3rd, so I'm going to read both of those. And then after that, I might squeeze in like I See You, because I really do want to read a thriller. And since that's been on my TBR for so long, I think I'm going to read that one. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the other 2 this month if I put these 2 on the TBR. But I really want to read these 2. I might read one of these after I read Mistakes Were Made by Lucy Score, because then I'm going to have to read that after I See You. Depends on when I finish that. I'll probably finish it in a day, though, so I'll probably have time to read maybe one of these before Mistakes Were Made comes out, and The Wings That Bind, which both come out on the 10th. And then after that, I think I have like a week or 2 where I don't have any new releases until the 24th. So Goodreads, for some reason, lists the release date of some new releases sometimes wrong. And the one that, hold on one second. Let me just, oh, and Just Friends also comes out March 3rd. So never mind, I'm not going to be able to read I See You, because I'm going to have to read Once and Again, then The Dragon and the Sun Lotus, No Matter What, and Just Friends the first week of March. And then I'm going to go into Mistakes Were Made and The Wings That Bind. So those are all new releases in the first week and a half of March. And then after that, I have like 10 days, I think, to read other books on my TBR. So maybe we'll be able to get those other books done. But also I want to read these 2. And maybe like 1 or 2 older books. Maybe we'll be able to do that, because that'll give me 10 days and I'll be able to read probably at least 5 books. So that could probably work. But the one that was listed wrong on Goodreads, because I have like a full gap there until the 24th, is The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. It comes out March 24th, not March 31st. And you best believe we're going to be reading it on the 24th. So at least then I can read that, and then I can read like a couple of other books that, I wanted to get to in the month. So, and I'm probably going to have to read both of me and Felicia's buddy reads in between the 10th and the 24th, and then these 2 books that I really want to read. So I'm not sure if we're going to get to Splintered or the Fireborn trilogy, but we probably will end up reading the standalone books over Fireborn. I'm probably going to have to push Fireborn again, maybe to April. I was trying to read a series every month, but also I will be finishing the Red Queen series in March. And again, like I said, I have The Wings That Bind, which is a continuation of a series, and Broken Throne, which is finishing the Red Queen series. So I don't know. We're going to have to see. So that was Goodreads' mistake, not mine. And then these 2 books I bought recently, but I'm probably going to return one of them because I already borrowed it on Libby. I didn't realize it was on Libby. But the first one is, they're both fantasies, is A Vow and Vengeance by Jacqueline Rodriguez. I was just so attracted to this cover every single time I went to Barnes. So I ended up picking it up. It's so pretty with the sprayed edges and everything. So this one says, claim your tarot, choose your fate. So it says, deadly tarot, wicked schemes, dangerous alliances, can you survive the forge? Rune Riker has nothing left to lose. Everything's been stolen by the immortals, her family, her home, her freedom, but she's done playing by their rules. Each year, mortals are chosen against their will to journey into the immortal realms, but 20-year-old Rune orchestrates her own selection, determined to find her family and destroy anyone who stands in her way. Rune is used to doing whatever it takes to survive, and now she must endure the Forge, a cutthroat college that teaches the elusive tarot magic of the immortal druids. And when Rune's magic reveals itself to be the rarest and most powerful, she's forced to live with its only wielder, Prince Draven. As arrogant as he is ruthlessly ambitious, he's the last person she can trust. Rune's abilities also draw the attention of the most dangerous druids in the realms. Some want to use her, more want her dead. Draven offers to train her for a price. As Rune becomes ensnared in Draven's dangerous games, she learns there are secrets at the heart of the kingdom that some will kill to protect. And Rune and Draven's growing attraction may be the spark to ignite a brewing war. I might read this first over The Dragon and the Sun Lotus, then read No Matter What, and then read The Dragon and the Sun Lotus. Just to break up the romance and the fantasy, and then read Just Friends, and then we'll see where we're at. Because I want to do fantasy, romance, so I don't have to read back-to-back-to-back fantasies. But this one sounds really good, so I might read this after Once and Again. And then this one, I picked up The Wolf and the Crown of Blood by Elizabeth May. And again, sprayed edges are really pretty, but this one's on Libby, so I'm probably going to return this. It says, Death is a savior who demands blood. A princess and a war-weary god met in the ashes of a broken city, forging a pact in blood and sacrifice. I'm not going to read the whole synopsis, but it sounded really good. I actually started Burn Hotter, Vicious Girl, Let Me Taste Your Fury. Okay. I kind of started this a little bit on my Kindle. I started using the assisted reader yesterday because I was kind of in the middle of a chapter of The Everlasting, which I finished yesterday, which was really good, by the way, by Alex E. Haro. I was in the middle of a chapter when I was driving. So after I had left Barnes, I just started listening to this on my Kindle, and I don't love the writing so far, even though I just started it. I literally listened to like 5 pages maybe, and I don't know. I might not read this right away, but we'll see. But I'll probably just end up reading this after Just Friends, so I don't know. We'll figure it out, but I just wanted to say that I'm adding those 2 to the TBR, and they're probably going to end up being read over Fireborn, most likely. As long as I start Fireborn at the end of the month, because as long as I read the first book, like the 30th or the 31st, but I might have to wait. Actually, the only other book that comes out on the 31st now for me. Oh my god, I keep on forgetting where I'm putting my phone when I'm just putting it on my bedside table because I'm charging it right now. Okay, 59% is definitely more than enough. I think the only other book that comes out the last day of the month is... Actually, I don't think any do because I said it was only... Oh, Starside. Yeah, by Alex Astor. I'm going to have to read that on the 31st because there's no way I'm not reading that when it comes out. And Game On, which is an audiobook, so it's not going to be a big deal if I start listening to that. So yeah, the new releases are coming out strong in March, so it might just be full of new releases this month. But I've been trying to keep up with my TBR, and I've been doing a pretty good job. So I've already read 40 books this year, right? And there's no sign of stopping me anytime soon. So that's it. Bye.